Good afternoon, everyone. How are you guys doing? Good afternoon, Kalash. Good afternoon, Meher. Good afternoon, Rituja. Good afternoon, Alia. So, tomorrow is the D-Day. How are you guys feeling? Good afternoon, Varun, Surbhi. Good afternoon, Jamal. Good afternoon, boss. Good afternoon, Chetan. Good afternoon, good afternoon. Waiting for final revision, Meher. So, get done with the revision today, right? Okay, good afternoon, good afternoon. So we will be doing few of the questions from Quant so that you guys will have a kind of revision, and also, the approaches that we have been doing for the past over 1 month, they will be revising them as well, right? Nervous? Don't be nervous, Janvi. It will be, it's going to backfire, right? So if you're going to be more nervous, the exam is going to not go so well. So be little chill out. I'm not going to say that you have to be completely, not be in that mood of not giving a damn about anything, but you should be serious, but not nervous. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Hi, hello. Okay, so let's forget about tomorrow's exam. Let's see, how can we solve questions from all the topics that are there in the syllabus. So we have what we have done is we have brought in all the topics together. Okay? And we are going to solve all the different topics so that you will have an idea that we're not on just going to do solve. We're not going to simply solve algebra or only geometry or only, let's say, arithmetic. Mixture करेंगे अपन. Sagar, it's a good score. 135 is a good score. शायद ना नहीं लो टेंशन. टेंशन लेके कुछ नहीं हो रहा. ठीक है? Let's begin. So this is the first question. Pipe A and B together can fill an empty tank in 1 3 by 5 hours. Okay, so this is 1 3 by 5 hours. Pipe B alone takes 6 hours more than the time taken by pipe A alone to fill the tank. If pipe B was open for 2.5 hours and then closed, what portion of the tank would remain empty? So अभी emotion, feeling side करो, दिमाग लगाओ. Let's solve this. Good afternoon, Himanshi. Sumanshu, write one more mock tonight. Improve your accuracy, a bit of speed. Boss has answered. Ankita has answered. A and B together can fill the empty tank in 1 3 by 5 hours. Pipe B alone takes 6 hours more than the time taken by pipe A. A alone to fill the tank. Pipe B open for 2.5 hours. And then closed. Then what portion of the tank is going to remain empty? Good afternoon, Art Zone. Varun, you should, if it's day after, so write one mock today and one mock tomorrow. Okay, and don't worry about the score. See what are the different types of questions that you have encountered. Okay, see, okay. So they can together fill a empty tank in 1 3 by 5 hours. जिसमें से if one tank, let's say A, if it takes T time, then B takes T plus 6. Now, what I do, that if I want them to work together, The calculation that I have to do is t into t plus 6 divided by t plus 6. Okay. And this 13 by 5 hours is 8 by 5 hours, no? So can you tell me a value of t so that नीचे में 5 या 5 का टेबल का नंबर आ जाए? Give me a value for t. I'm not going to solve equation, I'm comparing, okay? एक t की value सोचते हैं so that t plus 6 is going to be 5 or 10 or 15. So we'll start from the smallest value. 5 possible है, t, the denominator, this is 5, is it possible? नहीं, for this to be 5, t is going to be negative, right? तो 5 नहीं ले सकते. Can this be equal to 10? Is it possible? t और t plus 6 दोनों का सम 10 है. t plus 6 10 नहीं है. The denominator is 10. So what shall I take the value for t? सब लोग 4 4 4 बोल रहे हैं. अगर मैं 4 ले लूंगा तो 4 plus 6 4 plus 10 will be 14. अपन को 10 चाहिए. साहिल प्रो, डर का माहौल है हर तरफ. टू, ठीक है. सो सपोज इफ t is 2, ठीक है. Suppose if this is 2, then this is 8. 2 plus 8 is 10. And what will be the numerator? 2 into 8. What is 16 by 10? 16 by 10 is 8 by 5 only, no? Match कर गया? तो A takes 2 hours to fill the tank alone and B takes 8 hours to fill the tank alone. So how much time they take, as in how many hours they take, I don't have to solve an equation. I have to write the expression and simply compare. Now, once this is done, we will take the capacity of the tank to be the product of 2 and 8. तो मैं मान लेता हूं कि 16 लीटर है. What is the efficiency of tank A? Not tank A, sorry, pipe A. So in its efficiency, it takes 2 hours to fill, right? तो हर hour 8 liter fill करता होगा. If I want to find the efficiency of pipe B and pipe B takes 8 hours, तो हर hour ये 2 liter fill करता होगा. तो B 2.5 hours में how many liters will it fill? 2 into 2.5, that is 5 liters fill करेगा. So out of 16 liters, if 5 liters is filled, how many liters are empty? 11 liters out of 16 liters. So you get 11 by 16 as the answer. है ना? हाँ वरुण, you can substitute the option, but then it becomes quadratic और वो irritating हो जाता. Quadratic हो जाएगा ना, t into t plus 6. तो इसीलिए values compare करके then you can see which value works. अगर 10 वर्क नहीं करता तो फिर 15 पे जाते हैं, 15 नहीं करता 20 पे जाते हैं, उतने में आ जाता आंसर. I mean it will definitely match. Good afternoon, Madhuri. Okay, 11 by 6. Very good. What about this second question? After the actual final exam CT, then and there the score will get displayed. You have missed my question. Gaurav, what was your question? You took a mock today, should you review it? And Adam knew your exam is tomorrow. Gaurav, if you are kind of confident for the mock that you took today that it went well, go ahead and review it. Review as in see what all questions were correct and where did you make silly mistakes, where are conceptual mistakes. Okay. But if it did not go well, then most probably you are going to panic. So don't review it. Write another mock. You will have to wait for the result to come out. Because normalization has to be done, it will only happen after all the slot exams are over. So, next question, numbers. There are 4 consecutive odd numbers, x1, x2, x3, x4 and 3 consecutive even numbers, y1, y2, y3. The average of the odd numbers is 6 less than the average of the even numbers. If the sum of 3 even numbers is 16 less than the sum of 4 odd numbers, then what is the average of x1, x2, x3 and x4? Mihir, थोड़ी सी accuracy बढ़ाओ. डोंट इंक्रीज योर स्पीड. इफ यू जितनी स्पीड बन चुकी है दैट इज गुड इनफ, ठीक है. बिकॉज इफ यू ट्राई टू नाउ इंक्रीज द स्पीड तो ज्यादा गलतियां होने लगेगी. हड़बड़ी में करोगे सॉल्व ना. तो अभी स्पीड जो है वॉट एवर यू नो ऑन एन एवरेज मिनट्स यू आर टेकिंग पर क्वेश्चन, दैट इज गुड इनफ. अभी जो गलतियां हो रही है अगर उनको सुधार लोगे ना तो डेफिनेटली यू आर गोइंग टू क्रॉस 120, है ना. गलतियां हो रही है अभी, उनको सुधार लो. सिली मिस्टेक्स, don't make silly mistakes. Calculation mistakes, don't make calculation mistakes. If you're solving the questions by option, try to go through all the options. Just because first option matches तो उसमें रिस्क नहीं लेना है. हो सकता है कि आपने मिस्टेक किया, सेकंड ऑप्शन सोचो why is that not the answer. If you can improve on your accuracy a bit, your score will definitely be very good. So don't increase your speed. जो कर रहे हो उतना ही करो. In how many days will result come in? Result को आने में 3 weeks to 5 weeks after the slot or after the exams are over. Not tomorrow's, but वो 3 दिन के बाद. हाँ जी. Answer for this. Some of you have answered. You guys have answered E. What about others? अरे एग्जाम रिजल्ट इसका टेंशन क्यों ले रहे हो? वो गीता कृष्ण का उपदेश भूल गए? कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन. फल की चिंता मत करो, कर्म किए जाओ. मॉक सॉल्व करो, क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करो, टेंशन मत लो. एग्जाम में कब आएगा उसका रिजल्ट, कितना आएगा, डोंट वरी अबाउट इट राइट नाउ. अब तो बिल्कुल नहीं करो. अब तो कल अब जा रहे युद्ध पे. Hey Lakshya, I'm good. How are you? Okay, so let's solve this. There are 4 consecutive odd numbers. ठीक है? So think of 4 consecutive odd numbers. कुछ भी random odd numbers ले लो. Suppose if I take the 4 consecutive odd numbers as 1, 3, 5, 7. ये मैं रैंडम ले रहा हूं. आई एम नॉट सेइंग दिस इज द आंसर. दिस मे बी, दिस मे नॉट बी. ठीक है. एंड देयर आर 3 कंसेक्यूटिव इवन नंबर्स. अब 3 कंसेक्यूटिव इवन नंबर्स कैन बी 8, 10, 12. इट मे बी 6, 8, 10. इट मे बी 2, 4, 6. हमें नहीं बताया ना इन्होंने, राइट. द नेक्स्ट पार्ट इज गिवन द एवरेज ऑफ द ऑड नंबर्स. व्हाट विल बी द एवरेज ऑफ दीज ऑड नंबर्स? इनका एवरेज क्या आएगा? Average of 1 and 7, which is 4, right? That's how you calculate average of an arithmetic progression. Okay. The average of odd numbers is 6 less than the average of the even numbers. तो अब मेरे को बता सकते हो, अगर ये average is 10, then what are those 3 even numbers? क्योंकि average of odd numbers is 4, average of even numbers should be 6 more, यानी कि 10. Then what should be those 3 even numbers so that their average is 10? तो average क्या होगा फिर? बीच वाला नंबर 10 होगा. And since these are consecutive even numbers, so it has to be 8, 10 and 12. So मैंने अभी इसको नॉर्मल एक सैंपल एग्जाम्पल लेकर ट्राई करा कि हो क्या रहा है. If the sum of 3 even numbers is 16 less than the sum of 4 odd numbers, अब मेरे को ये फाइंड आउट करना है. So what is the sum of these 4 odd numbers? 16. What is the sum of these 3 even numbers? This is 30. Then what is the average of x1, x2, x3 and x4? So मेरे को अब वो 4 find out करना है. Right? Is this 16 less? Sum of 3 even numbers is 16 less. हाँ, 16 less मतलब ये -16. नहीं है. So how much of hit and trial we can do? Are you good enough in hit and trials, or should you go ahead with what shall I say? Should you go ahead with variables and equations? ठीक है. अभी क्या करेंगे? I'm going to take this average as n, and the average of even numbers is n plus 6. The moment I take this as n plus 6, तो ये n plus 6 होगा, ये उससे 2 आगे n plus 8 होगा, ये इससे 2 पीछे n plus 4 होगा. And if this is n, then this is going to be n plus 1, this is going to be n minus 1, this is going to be n minus 3, this is going to be n plus 3. Generalize kar liya. Average was the link. So we started with average. We can't start with odd value. वो ज़्यादा complicate करेगा. Now what is known to us? That the sum of these three even numbers, what will be the sum of these three even numbers? N plus 4, n plus 6, n plus 8 in तीनों का sum, right? Which is going to be 3 times of n plus 6. And what will be the sum of these 4 odd numbers? N minus 3, n minus 1, n plus 1, n plus 3. In चारों का sum, which is going to be 4n. It is given that the sum of these 3 even numbers is 16 less than this. तो इसका मतलब अगर अपन इधर को 16 put कर देंगे, even side में add कर देंगे, they both will be equal. Because even वाला is already 16 less. If I add 16 to it, it means I can equate them. So this is going to give us 3n plus 16 plus 18. 16 plus 18 is going to be 34. 3n plus 34. So you will have n is equal to 34. अब ये ध्यान रखना है, have they asked us about n? Have they asked us about n plus 8, n plus 6? कौन सा पूछ रहे हैं? So they're asking us what is the average of x1 से लेके x4 तक का, मतलब कि इन चार ऑड नंबर्स का एवरेज क्या है? इन चार नंबर्स का एवरेज वाज n and n is 34, so 34 is your answer. Okay? So understood by taking an example what is happening, then change them as per one variable. We started with average being n for odd numbers. उधर से even का average n plus 6 हो जाएगा क्योंकि 4 और 10 क्या है? 6 ज्यादा. It's given also in the question. So 34 is the answer. Chalo, good. People who answered E, you guys were correct. Next question, arithmetic. Profit loss discount. बहुत ही सिंपल क्वेश्चन है, बहुत ही ज्यादा. रिवी, नो वरीज, थोड़ा सा ऊपर नीचे होता है ना. अब हर दिन पुशअप मारते हो सपोज, तो एक दिन 25 मार रहे, अगले दिन 25 मार रहे, नेक्स्ट डे 40 मार लोगे, या अगले दिन हो सकता है 10 मारोगे, हो सकता है एक दिन छुट्टी मार लो. So it's very difficult to have consistency, and it also is because it's not dependent on just your efficiency. It also depends what type of questions have come. अगर थोड़ा सा difficult आ गया, or maybe from those topics that you have not covered well, scores will fluctuate. Or if the questions come from those topics where you have practiced well, तो स्कोर बढ़ जाएगा. स्कोर बढ़ता है तो कोई कंप्लेन नहीं करता है कि सर मेरा तो 120 आ रहा था 140 आ रहा है कैसे, पर कम होता है 5, 10, 15 तो सब कंप्लेन करते हैं. D, simple. Selling an article means this is selling price and this is also selling price because this is also selling an article. तो इधर से profit होता है. Profit means 998 minus cost price. This profit is same as loss incurred. Loss अगर incurred है तो cost price will be larger and 864. Cost price is going to be simply average of 998 and 864, right? Solve करोगे तो उधर जाएगा 2 हो जाएगा, 2CP by 2 हो जाएगा आगे. So all you have to do was calculate the average of these two numbers. If you solve it, you will get 931. Solve करो 931 ही आएगा. डेविड, इतना टेंशन मत लो, दिल पे नहीं लेने का यार. हाँ शायना, ये तो है. That's the nature not of students. That's the nature of every human being. I can say it, more casually because I'm not going to face it. पर अगर मेरे करियर के अकॉर्डिंग, if I have to give an exam which is very important to me, तो मैं भले ही आप लोगों को कितना भी ज्ञान दे दूं कि यार रात को सो लेना और ज्यादा टेंशन मत लेना, मेरे साथ होगा मेरी खुद भी थोड़ी फटेगी, राइट? एटलीस्ट आई विल नॉट टेक टेंशन, ये तो श्योर है, बट रात को नींद तो शायद नहीं आए. Okay, next question. So it's a geometry question. The circumference of a semicircle is 125 centimeter. If the diameter of the semicircle is 30% less than the diagonal of the square, then what is the perimeter of the square? So you have a circle, sorry, semicircle, और वो semicircle को फिर एक square से relate कर रहे हैं, right? Ayush has answered. Good, Ayush. I don't know if it's a correct answer, but that was pretty quick. Varun has answered. Nikita has answered. So आप देखते हो if you guys are looking at the chat, answers एक साथ आते हैं. It's not that one person answers it first and others answer it like a minute later. It happens only in certain questions. So that tells us that this question is kind of equally easy or equally good for all of you. है ना? So two options so far, A and B, 140 root 2 and 120 root 2. Let's see what would be the answer. I'll wait few more seconds. कितने लोग का A, कितने का B, क्या आ रहा है? So most of you are answering A. Okay. Do you know how I will solve this question? 30% less is what? In multiplying factor. 30% less का multiplying factor कितना होता है? जल्दी. %30 less का multiplying factor. जल्दी जल्दी जल्दी. There is a number, if you decrease it by 30%, that is equivalent to multiplying that number by what? 0.7. तो मेरा आंसर 7 के टेबल का होगा. So my answer will be in the table of 7. Why? Because this multiplying factor is going to get multiplied with something. When it gets multiplied with something, it will be multiplied with 0.7. 0.7, 770 फर्क नहीं पड़ता. 7 है ना उधर. So 7 के टेबल का नंबर होना चाहिए. Which option gives us 7 के टेबल का नंबर? It's going to be A. मेरा आंसर आ गया. बिना कोई फिगर ड्रॉ किए, बिना कोई इक्वेशन, नो फॉर्मूला, नथिंग. कॉमन सेंस. Right? So multiplying factors are very helpful in solving difficult questions as well. What if I have to solve it properly? So it's given that the circumference of a semicircle is 125 centimeters. Circumference of a semicircle is not about just the curved part. It is also about the diameter. So if I take the radius as r, so this curved part is going to be half of 2 pi r, which is pi r, right? So this is going to be 2r plus pi r, and this is given as 125. है ना? तो क्या कर सकते हैं हम? What we can do is देखो, I can foresee that it's going to take 2-3 steps, and I'm like too lazy to actually go ahead and solve कि पाई की जगह आप will it make any difference? 5 and 140 approximate कर रहे हैं, ठीक है. I'm not going to write pi as 22/7 3.14. I'm going to write pi as 3. Because 3.14 or 22/7 I believe is going to make my calculation hectic. ठीक है, तो मैं जा ही नहीं रहा उधर को. So if I take pi as 3, so I will have 5r is equal to 125, या फिर रेडियस को अपन ले लेते हैं 25. Approximation है. Now the diameter of the semicircle is 30% less than the diagonal of the square. ठीक है? So suppose we have a square whose diagonal is d, then can we say diagonal is going to be 0.7 times of 25? चलेगा? Sorry, the diameter of the semicircle. Diameter मतलब 2r हो जाएगा ना, तो 0.7 of 50 ले लेते हैं. It will be 0.7 of 50 because if radius is 25, the diameter is going to be 50. So इससे 30% less है. So this is going to be 35 as the diameter. If 35 is the diameter, then, or as in diagonal, so what will be the side? So आपको पता है d by root 2 लिखते हैं side को if the diagonal is given as d of a square, right? So the perimeter is going to be 4 times d by root 2. So 4 times d is 35 by root 2. So ये अपना हो जाएगा 140 by root 2. यही आ रहा है ना? By missing है क्या? Is there a division that has been missed? Or are you guys getting 140 root 2? मेरे को तो 140 by root 2 आ रहा है. ये PPTs के साथ यही है कि by and things. Tell me, are you guys getting 140 by root 2 या 140 root 2? मेरे को लग रहा, see the thing is इधर को थोड़ा ज्यादा गैप है. I think something is a miss here. You have drawn rhombus. वरुण स्क्वायर है, rhombus नहीं है. स्क्वायर जो होता है उसको टेढ़ा देखो तो ऐसे ही दिखेगा ना. यही आंसर 140 बाई रूट 2. सभी का 140 बाई रूट 2 आ रहा है ना. ठीक है, ये बाई मिसिंग था. एनीवेज अप्रोक्सीमेटली वी आर देयर. तो ये आप समझ सकते हो ना कि it has to do with the multiplying factor, as in multiplying factor 0.7 आ गया तो this is good enough. मुस्कान 30% कम को लिखते हैं 100% minus 30% which is 70% and 70% को 0.7 भी लिखते हैं, right? यहां से आता है. Okay, next question. Probability. So higher maths. देखते हैं कितने लोगों से ये हो सकता है प्रोबेबिलिटी क्वेश्चन. Sumanshu, exactly MAH CET level. Some of them are going to be easy, some of them are going to be difficult, some of them going to be little time consuming. सारा combination इधर. So a bag contains 4 red balls, 6 blue balls and 8 pink balls. One ball is drawn at random and replaced with 3 pink balls. A second ball was drawn without replacement. What is the probability that the first ball drawn was either red or blue in color and the second ball drawn was pink in color? People are getting D, D, D. तुक्के में B. Ayush says E. Okay. Okay. तो देखते हैं. So initially, okay, Initially, we have a bag which has got 4 red, 6 blue, and 8 pink balls. ठीक है? आपको क्या बोला गया है? What is the probability that the first ball drawn was either red or blue? Just this part. So if I am going to pick one ball out of here, so what is the probability that it will be red? So can I say probability that it will be red will be given as 4 divided by 4 plus 6 plus 8, यानी कि 18. Okay, what is the probability that it's going to be blue in color? So there are 6 blue balls out of 18 blue balls that you can pick. Question says or मतलब plus होता है. So this becomes 10 by 18. You can simplify and write this as 5 by 9 or you can leave it as such. मैं तो नहीं करता सिंप्लीफाई, अभी लास्ट स्टेप पे करते हैं. ठीक है, फर्स्ट पार्ट इज डन. लेट्स मूव टू द सेकंड पार्ट. A second ball was drawn without replacement. Second ball was drawn without replacement means after the balls have been taken out, this one ball has been taken out, it has not been put back. तो अगर मेरे पास टोटल अगर 18 बॉल्स हुआ करते थे जिसमें से आपने ये एक इधर से निकाल लिया तो यू आर लेफ्ट विथ 17 बॉल्स, राइट? एक सेकेंड. अच्छा, हाँ, 17 balls and then what happens? You put in 3 pink balls. उसके बाद, so if you put 3 further balls, so you will have 20 balls in all the 3 bags combined. अब इस 20 में से रेड और ब्लू कितना हो जाएगा? रेड और ब्लू में से एक निकला ना, ये 1 या तो रेड होगा या ब्लू होगा. So instead of 10 red or blue, now we will have only 9 red or blue combined, and instead of 8 pink, अभी 3 pink और ऐड करा है. So can we say there are going to be 11 pink balls? Right? So what is the probability now that the second ball drawn was pink in color? What is the probability that it was pink, second ball? तो 11 balls हैं जो pink color के हैं out of a total of 20 balls. इधर से भी आप ऐड करके बता सकते हो या फिर इधर भी हमने करा 18 में से एक कम गया 17, फिर 3 ऐड हो गया तो 20. So this is out of 20. Now the question में ध्यान दो, it is given and. So what happens when it is given and? You multiply. So you will have 10 by 18 into 11 by 20. So this 10 and 20 में ये 2 हो जाएगा. This will give you 11 upon 36 and 11 upon 36 is option number E. Thank you, Samir. But Anand Kumar is a much better teacher. Okay, so it's going to be E 11 by 36. अच्छा, उन्होंने करवाया था. Okay, so repeat हो गया. None of these is the answer. Sixth one. A number 42 is divided into 3 parts which are in AP and the sum of their squares is 596. Find the largest number. Very simple question. So it's like एक simple है, एक थोड़ा difficult है. एक simple, एक lengthy. So लोग तो मेरे को काफी दिख रहे हैं चैट में ही, है ना, पर मेरे को लाइक्स नहीं दिख रहे. वो व्हाट्सएप फॉरवर्डेड मैसेजेस आता है ना कि ये मैसेज 10 को फॉरवर्ड करो, यू विल गेट गुड लक. तो वैसा ही कुछ है. अगर आपने इस वीडियो को लाइक करा तो आपका एग्जाम अच्छा जाएगा. नंबर 42 इज डिवाइडेड इनटू 3 पार्ट्स, एपी में है और स्क्वायर्स का सम 596 है. ठीक है. समीर, इट्स नॉट द प्रोडक्ट. पार्ट्स में ब्रेक करने का मतलब है उसको ऐड करना, मतलब एज इन 3 नंबर्स सम इज गोइंग टू बी 42. अगर एक स्टिक दे दूं मैं और बोलूं कि उसको 2 पार्ट में ब्रेक करो तो आप उसको तोड़ोगे, राइट? कहीं से भी. व्हेन यू ऐड देम इट विल गिव यू बैक द स्टिक. सो ब्रेक करने का मतलब है Vice versa, if you add those numbers, you should get 42 and not the multiplication. So people are getting B. Everyone is getting B. That's good. तो अपन क्या करते हैं? Options चलते हैं. ठीक है? So me personally, I will start with options. So suppose 18 is the largest number and these are in AP. Right? 18 एक large number है, as in the largest number, and the two smaller numbers should be such that they are in AP and the sum is 42. अब 42 में से 18 इधर को है. So how much are we left with? 24. 24 को कैसे break करोगे so that you will have the three numbers in AP and this sum is obviously 42. तो करते क्या है? The middle term will be the average, no? So 42 by 3 कितना होता है? 14, तो इधर 14 लिख लो. Right? So this will be 10. 10, 14, 18. मतलब हर ऑप्शन को जब आप करोगे तो आपको मिडिल नंबर 14 पता है. The next number is also given to us. So you can calculate this by the sum logic 42. Now let's look at the first option. We are not done with first option. 10 का square, 14 का square and 18 का square, is it going to be 596? होता है क्या? 100 plus 144 plus 324, 300, 400, 500, 568 आ रहा है. So this is not true. If I take the second option, so A is not your answer. If I take the second option, so this is going to be 12, 14 and 16. Then only this is an AP and sum is 42. ठीक है. So 12 square plus 14 square plus 16 square, is it 596? So 144 plus 196 plus 256. 200, 100, 100, 400, 96 plus 4, 500 plus 40 plus 56, 596. So B becomes your answer. प्रथमेश, अरिथमेटिक सीरीज को अरिथमेटिक प्रोग्रेशन भी बोलते हो और अरिथमेटिक प्रोग्रेशन को वी राइट इन एब्रिविएशन एज एपी. ओके, सो यस, यू गाइस वर करेक्ट. बी इज योर आंसर. नाइस. तो आप देख रहे हो ना, when you are going to write down the equation, it turns out to be very lengthy. तो अपन इक्वेशन नहीं लिखते हैं, हम ऑप्शन पकड़ लेते हैं. If we see a multiplying factor, तो we'll look into which of the options are in the table of that multiplying factor. If there is something multiplying factor thing going on. और जहां इक्वेशन लिखना है वहां इक्वेशन ड्रॉ कर लेंगे. The perimeter of a rectangle whose length is 7 meter more than its breadth is 274 meter. What would be the area of a triangle whose base is equal to half of the diagonal of the rectangle and whose height is equal to the length of the rectangle? Thank you, Shubham. Suchita, I hope you answered B for the previous one. इसका नहीं था. क्योंकि काफी पहले दे दिया आपने. आरसी लॉन्ग पैसेजेस के तो नहीं आएंगे ना. रियांश, नहीं, लॉन्ग पैसेजेस नहीं होंगे एंड द पैसेजेस आर गोइंग टू बी प्रीटी सिंपल टू अंडरस्टैंड. If your English is okay, as in if suppose whatever I am speaking, if you can understand it, you can understand those RCs as well. So you don't really need a huge vocab in order to understand those passages. ठीक है? So Abhiram says C, 1832. Varun says C. Nikit says C. Sumit says C. So everyone is C. के पीछे हैं सारे. Because Did not understand that one, rebellious. पहला part समझ लिया. The second phrase did not understand that. So the perimeter of a rectangle whose length is 7 meters more than its breadth is 274 meters. What would be the area of a triangle whose base is equal to half of the diagonal of the rectangle? Riyansh, that is good enough. Whose base is equal to half of the diagonal of the rectangle and whose height is equal to the length of the rectangle. Lucifer answered A. Thank you, Prathamesh. Nahi? Difficult hai? Okay, so this is what you will have to do. Draw a rectangle first, of course. Chota bada doesn't matter. Whose length is 7 meters more than its breadth. So breadth ko apan x lenge, so the length is going to be x plus 7. And its perimeter is 274, right? If the perimeter is 274, if I half 274, can I say x or x plus 7 ka jo sum hai is going to be half of 274? Half of 274 matlab 137. So 7 idhar hai, 7 idhar hai. So you get x plus x is equal to 130 or x is equal to 65. The moment you get x is equal to 65, so the breadth becomes 65, the length becomes 65 plus 7, which is 72. And next step is, what would be the area of a triangle whose base is equal to half the diagonal of the rectangle? So, agar iska diagonal nikal le hum, apan. So, of course, we will be using Pythagoras theorem. Suppose the diagonal is D. Now, we have to find the area of a triangle whose base is half of that diagonal and whose height is equal to the length of the rectangle. So, iska height jo hai, ye 72 hai. Yahi na? Right? So, what is the area of this triangle? Area of this triangle will be half into base into height. So 2 and 2 cancel out हो गया और इधर को क्या बच गया 4 चला गया तो you are left with 18 है ना 18 देख के क्या लगता है the final answer should be in the table of 9 right 18 is 9 into 2 9 के टेबल क्यों ढूंढ रहे हैं because it's pretty easy to find the answer because all you have to do is add the digits and they should be in the table of 9. So 1 plus 7 plus 4 plus 6, 4 plus 6, 10, 1 plus 7, 8, 18, ये हो सकता है आंसर. 6 plus 3 plus 1 plus 1, ये नहीं हो सकता. 1 plus 8, 9, 3 plus 2, 5, नहीं हो सकता. 9 plus 1 plus 2, नहीं हो सकता. 1 plus 8, 9, 9, ये भी हो सकता है. So दो options तो eliminate हो गए without even trying to figure out what D is, as in what is the length of the diagonal. Now, if I want the length of the diagonal, this is important. Do you know the triplet of 65, 72 and which number? Sorry, 65, 72 and which number forms your triplet? किसी को पता है? Anyone? Triplet बनता है 65, 72 का किसके साथ? Anyone? It's with 97. So diagonal is 97. So आपका आंसर हो जाएगा 97 into 18. अब 97 into 18 को अब आपको मल्टीप्लाई नहीं करना है. 97 into 18 is a number that will end in and it will give you the answer. ठीक है? So multiplication भी आया नहीं करा. So answer is A, which most of you made the mistake there. Okay, next, 8th. Product of the roots of the equation, this quadratic is minus 6, the value of P. See, simple, straightforward question. how do you find product of the roots? Hi Neet, बड़ा लेट ज्वाइन करा यार. So product of the roots of the equation is -6. The value of p is 2 times half. 2 times half. अब देखो, area of a triangle is given as half into base into height, no? तो एक हाफ तो ये हाफ इंटू बेस इंटू हाइट का है. बेस इज गिवन एज पर द क्वेश्चन. दिस इज ऑलरेडी हाफ ऑफ डायगोनल. आई डिड नॉट कैलकुलेट डायगोनल अंटिल देन, राइट? सो मैंने बेस को हाफ इंटू डी लिखा. सो व्हेन आई पुट इट आई गेट अनदर हाफ ओवर देयर. गॉट इट? दैट्स व्हाई आई हैड टू हाफ. मेरे इतना सिंपल है. Product of the roots is given as c upon a, where c is the constant term of the quadratic and a is the leading coefficient. Leading coefficient मतलब x square का coefficient. That's how you calculate product of roots. So this is given as 4p minus 3 upon p, and this is further given as -6, or 4p minus 3 is equal to -6p. एक साइड लेके जाओ, दूसरे को दूसरे साइड लेकर जाओ, और उसके बाद सिंपली सॉल्व कर लो. That's it. You should know product of the roots का फॉर्मूला, और उससे बस तुरंत आ जाएगा. 3/10. Okay, so everyone was correct. Everyone answered A. बिल्कुल सही. Next one. The difference between the two numbers is 1504. On dividing the larger number by the smaller number, we get 8 as quotient and 20 as remainder. Find the smaller number. Again, you can solve it using two ways. You can use options or you can write down the equations. दोनों ही ठीक है. Is there a strategy to crack MBA CET? You need to have a strategy to go attempt a paper. You should quickly go through the easy questions first. Skip the difficult ones or the ones that you think you won't be able to solve. Once you're done with the entire paper, you come back and then solve the ones that you now think can be solved using pen. थोड़ा सा लगेगा time, पर solve होगा. Once you are done with it, look at the timer. If you have enough time, go to the third round and solve the difficult ones. अगर नहीं है तो तुक्का मार लो. So people are getting B as the answer. 212. Okay. So Spark और practice चाहिए. You need to have a lot of formulas right before the mocks so that you can apply them. Because in MBA CET, except for mensuration and maybe numbers topic, जो कि आपका थोड़ा सेंस लगाना पड़ेगा. You will have to use options, you will have to draw something, you will have to write down some pattern, right? बाकी सारे टॉपिक्स में तो सीधे फॉर्मूले बेस्ड होते हैं. जैसे अभी भी करा ना प्रोडक्ट ऑफ रूट्स, वो तो C/A होता है. सीधे पुट करना है, सॉल्व करना है. और ऐसे सॉल्व करना है जैसे कि नहीं सॉल्व किया तो पैसे मिलने वाले थे 10,000 रुपए, वो नहीं मिलेंगे. मतलब वैसे, मतलब इट शुड बी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. सो इट शुड बी वेरी क्विक. कांट बी लाइक कि एक कर लिया तो अब 2 मिनट आराम कर रहे हैं, अंगड़ाइयां ले रहे हैं. नहीं. द मोमेंट यू आर डन विथ द फर्स्ट वन, रश टू द सेकंड वन. जल्दी जल्दी करना है, आराम से नहीं लिखना है. ठीक है. नीत अभी भी नींबू मिर्चे के पीछे है. श्रुति, तो वर्क ऑन योर एक्यूरेसी. सो पीपल आर गेटिंग बी एज द आंसर. सो आई विल यूज ऑप्शंस. ठीक है. Difference between two numbers is 1504. Find the smaller number. Suppose smaller number 205 है, तो जो bigger number होगा वो 1504 ahead होगा. 15 plus 2, 1709 is the bigger number. This is the bigger number. This is the smaller number. सो नाउ इट इज गिवन दैट जब आप 1709 को जब आप लार्जर नंबर को 1709 को स्मॉलर नंबर यानी 205 से अगर डिवाइड करते हो तो 8 टाइम्स जाना चाहिए. So what is 205 into 8? This is going to be 1640. और आपको रिमाइंडर आना चाहिए 20. But here the remainder you are going to get is going to be 60 plus 9. 69 आ रहा है. So it doesn't match. A नहीं होगा आंसर. Let's move to the next option. 212 is the smaller number. Let's add 1504 to it. So this is going to be 1716. अब अपन करते हैं कि 1716 को 212 से डिवाइड करोगे. It should go 8 times. So 8 into 200 is 1600. 8 into 12 is 96. So 1696 बनता है. And if you subtract, you will get the remainder as 20. So 20 remainder आ गया, 8 quotient आ गया, perfect. B is your answer. Don't have to check further because there is going to be one and only one option correct, right? अगर ये भी नहीं होता, move to the next one. 212. Very good. Next one. The sum of the two numbers is 12 and the product is 35. Find the sum of the reciprocals of these numbers. देखो अब ये आसान, एक difficult, एक आसान. Excuse me. Come on, ये तो सबसे हो जाना चाहिए. इससे आसान क्वेश्चन क्या हो सकता है? Don't write down the equations. Think. कौन से दो नंबर होते हैं जिनका सम इज गोइंग टू बी 12 एंड देयर प्रोडक्ट इज गोइंग टू बी 35? कौन से? सोचो थोड़ा. जितना ज्यादा सोचोगे उतना दिमाग तेज होगा. So the numbers are 5 and 7. So what is 1 by 5 plus 1 by 7? 7 plus 5 divided by 5 into 7, which is going to be 12 upon 35. 12 upon 35. यही आना चाहिए था, है कि नहीं? Suppose instead of 12 and 35, ये होता sum of two numbers is 31 and their product is 398. What is the sum of the reciprocals of these numbers? तो अब what लग जाएगी दो नंबर्स का सम 31 एंड प्रोडक्ट 398 ढूंढने में, है ना? बट what would be the answer? $31/398 यही होगा. कौन से दो नंबर से मेरे को नहीं पता, मैं ढूंढ भी नहीं सकता. इट्स गोइंग टू बी डिफिकल्ट. दे मे बी इमेजिनरी, दे मे बी इरेशनल, हु नोज, बट आंसर तो आएगा यही भाई. बिकॉज इफ अल्फा प्लस बीटा इज गिवन एज 31 एंड अल्फा बीटा इज गिवन एज 398, सो 1 by अल्फा प्लस 1 by बीटा को जब सॉल्व करोगे तो घूम फिर के इट्स गोइंग टू बी इन द सेम टर्म्स जो कि अपन को पता है. ये तो बस इधर पुट करने का है. तो ऐसी चीजों से कुछ सीखना चाहिए कि इट्स नॉट नेसेसरी दैट एवरी टाइम आई नीड द वैल्यूज, राइट? Shubham, just go through coordinate geometry a bit. Lines, straight lines, distance between pair of parallel lines, distance between 2 points, distance between a point and a line, when the lines are parallel, when they are perpendicular. बहुत ही basic. Worst case, look into centroid. Orthocenter वगैरह से दूर रहना. हाँ, if they ask you orthocenter or circumcenter, it has to do with an equilateral triangle, a right angle triangle. तभी आसानी से निकलता है. Random triangle में तो orthocenter निकालते निकालते 2 स्लॉट खत्म हो जाएगा, राइट? एलसीएम ले सकते हैं कि अगर इमेजिनरी है तो वरुण डोंट नीड, नो, मतलब ले तो बिल्कुल सकता है, यू कैन एनीवे सॉल्व इट, पर जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगा ना इफ यू नो द वैल्यूज. ठीक है, सो दैट्स ऑल फॉर टुडे. यू गाइस वर वेरी क्विक. लुक्स लाइक यू गाइस आर वेरी वेल प्रिपेयर्ड फॉर द एग्जाम, क्योंकि नॉर्मली अपन लोगों को 12 क्वेश्चन करने में 1.5 घंटा लगा है ना? सो अब लग रहा है कि आप लोग तैयार हो. सो पीपल हु have not joined us yet, you guys can join us for our this year's CAT if you're going to appear for, if you want to appear for CAT for the comprehensive program. A new batch has just begun. Okay, so they have their class today, they will have their class tomorrow. So the number of sessions are more. So what all things do you get in those? So you get more than 135 live sessions. You will get more than 10,000 questions. You get 70 plus full mock tests, which is like, a lot as per the industry standards. Just not CAT, but other MBA exams as well. You will get the booklets also so that you can revise them. And for GDPI preparation later on, you will be given 5 live and 10 recorded sessions for GDPI preparation. Everyone, please do like before you leave. मेरे को 300 लाइक चाहिए उधर को 200 प्लस करना है. Okay, so don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. If you guys have any doubt, if you type in the comments, I make sure that I put a response to it, whatever your query is, if I have missed out on anything. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Facebook and YouTube. Okay, press that bell icon so that you are notified. Today evening we have one more session, a quick session on as to what you should be doing tomorrow. It's different from do's and don'ts. Okay, it's more about keeping the exam, MAH CET exam in mind. Okay, and if you guys have any doubts, please do join our YouTube channel, wherein our Telegram channel, wherein you can send your doubts and we will clear it out. All the best. Very good luck to everyone. Don't panic. Don't sway away from your strategy. If you're scoring a particular score at 120, 140-ish, इसके around है, तो make sure ये consistency रहे. At least उतना आएगा ही आएगा. बहुत ज़्यादा panic नहीं करना है. Even if you're not able to solve, let's say 3 to 5 questions in continuation, don't panic. यही 5 क्वेश्चन डिसाइड नहीं करेंगे आपका फेट. देयर आर गोइंग टू बी टेंस ऑफ क्वेश्चंस पोस्ट दैट, है ना? हाँ, so somebody asked when is the analysis going to be? Analysis is going to be right after the exam. ठीक है? So you will have to give us, I believe, around 45 minutes to 1 hour after the exam is over, so that the person who has gone to write the exam will come back at the office and from there they are going to give you live review. ठीक है, चलो अच्छे से करना. I have faith in you guys. You guys will do very good. बिल्कुल आशीर्वाद मिलेगा ऋतु, एकदम पूरा आशीर्वाद है. चलो बाय बाय. Swagat, it is going to be on both YouTube and parallelly it will be on our app as well. BYJU'S app पे तो है ये, that's I'm pretty sure about. I think it was mentioned, no, it will be there on both. YouTube पे भी होगा, live analysis तो होगा. And it will be live, it won't be recorded. जैसे अपन live है ना, अभी आप कॉल करोगे, मैं फोन अभी उठाऊंगा, तो live होगा. Okay, चलो, bye bye. Varun, no idea, we will see.